My first reaction was, my God, my village people, they literally followed me to this place, and I could not understand what kind of animal would make that sound. Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. My name is Tola. If you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much for clicking on the video, and if this is your first time here, you are welcome. Please consider subscribing and click on the bell notification icon, the one with the pom, so that you always get notified every time I upload a new video, which is at least once every Friday. I also have a second channel here on YouTube, and that is Cook with Tola Lusi, dedicated entirely to my food and recipes. So please go over there and show me some love. The link will be in the description box below, and I will also leave you a card somewhere up here. Click on it and go and show me some love over there as well. Okay, so to my returning subscribers, thank you so much for coming back to the channel. Thank you so much for clicking on the video. Your love is massive, it is huge. Thank you so much for always coming back. Thank you. All right, so before I jump into today's video, I just wanted to say, for the people who are just watching me for the first time, that this is a part 2 to the first video that I made on my culture shock. I will leave a card somewhere up here, and I will also leave a link to that video in the description box below. Go over there and watch it. People said it was hilarious. I was just doing my thing, but people got a kick out of it, and you'll do well to check it out. Go over there and find out some of the things that you might also relate to, as someone who's coming to South Africa for the first time, or someone who's living here and probably just didn't know that these things were a little different elsewhere. All right, so the first thing I'm going to be talking about is that the banks call you for loans. Banks call you to take out loans for credit cards, and then it's not something I'm very used to. It's not something that I'm used to back home. The banks hardly call you, except maybe there's you just probably have some questions to update you with. Maybe there's a new service in place, or maybe there's just some upgrade that they want you to get on. They hardly call you to take out loans. We hardly have that. Yeah, so things like house loans, car loans, they're not very common where I'm from. Things like labor, even when you go to the stores to buy things and you see something that you like and you don't have the full money for it, you can just buy it in installments, and they keep it for you till you're done paying and all of that, and you get it when your money is complete. So things like that is just, I found it unusual because it's not something that I'm used to back home. All right, so the next thing that I want to talk about is something that's, well, not everyone does it here, but it's kind of very common. The second thing is that people address each other by their first names. This is very unusual for me where I'm coming from. How you address someone who's older than you, or someone who is your boss in your place of work by their name. It's usually Mr. This or Mrs. That. You hardly see where you find someone and just address them by their Samantha. Who born you? Who born you where? In Nigeria, I don't think it's not very common, except for of course if it's a place where you have like white people who are, or maybe it's the norm now. I don't know, because it's not something that I'm used to. It's actually very strange that you address people by their name, but I've gotten used to it. But I think it's a little different in like a church setting, because I hear that people refer to each other with sister this, brother that. With all these things, I think it's becoming the norm now. I don't know if that's how it is right now in Nigeria. But when I was there, when I was there, we don't really address. It's usually Mr. This or Mrs. That, or the manager, or you just address them by their role. Sure, you get. But it's very, very rare that you find people address each other by their name. Maybe you see like a 50-something-year-old woman and maybe a 30-something-year-old man, and the man wants to address the woman, and then he's saying, "Oh, Francis or Francisca, who born you? Who born you?" As in, it's not, I don't know if that's how it is now, but when I was there, it's really not the case. It's usually Mr. This or Mr. That, or manager, or talk to the secretary, things like that. So yeah, so culture shock number 2. That's it. Okay, so culture shock number 3. This one was actually very funny the way it happened, because it happened exactly, well, it happened as we were parking, as we pulled up to the house when I was coming from the bus station. In my first video, I talked about how I came into Durban, and that was from the airport. My husband's friend picked me up, took me over to the bus station, and I came down from Joburg to Durban by bus. So my husband picked me up from the bus station and brought me home with his friend in his bakkie. So it's a long story, but just follow along. So we got home, and just as we had parked the bakkie and we were taking out, okay, for those of you who don't know, the bakkie it's like a pickup truck or a Peugeot truck that has an open boot. Yeah. So I don't know if I can even get the actual sound, but I'll try to find it on Google and just insert the sound. That's it. So we had just parked the car and we were taking down my boxes, and the next thing I heard was this sound. My first reaction was, my God, my village people, they literally followed me to this place, and I could not understand what kind of animal would make that sound. And it was in the night again, and I'm like, what exactly am I hearing? It was a very, that's it. That's that sound. But then there were like 10 in a tree at night. I'm like, I want ya today. I mean, I literally felt like I was in a horror movie. It felt very weird. It felt very, I couldn't understand what it was. I looked at my husband, I'm like, what is that? And he looked at me and was like, oh, no, it's just the birds. These birds, they're nuisance, and they just stay in the tree and they cry at night. I'm like, Kilele. I could not understand what I was hearing. The sound was so awful. The sound was so strange. I couldn't believe that it was actually a bird. It sounded like something that was like a wild animal or something. I couldn't really understand what exactly it was that I was listening to. So that thing, I wasn't used. I'm used to normal birds, like chirp, 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 you know, the normal chirping of birds. But yeah, no, it was really strange. I found it very strange. It took me months to come to terms. And the day I even saw the bird again, it was now looking like if this sound came from this bird. I didn't get it. Still don't get it. But yes, that bird, that sound, for the rest of my life, is here. All right, culture shock number 4, I think, is that stores and businesses close on holidays. Like, I don't know how it is in other provinces, but I'm sure it might be the same. Like when you go out on maybe like public holidays, it could be, okay, the first time I went out in December, I came in October. So when we went out in December to just, check out town and just go sightseeing, that's when she wanted to take me out. And most of the stores and shops were closed. It's not very common. What we have in Nigeria is that the businesses stay open during the holidays, maybe just for a few hours, but we don't close down. You understand what I'm saying? I understand that people have to go on holiday and all of that, but it's just the way we have it back home is that some people still stay back and open for a few hours and then close early. So, culture shock number 4. This one, buses and taxis have closing times. No, because, and I stayed in Ibadan, so you understand how it is. I don't think that they're really closing times like that, because if you go out, you will still get a taxi going somewhere. The prices may be a little bit higher if it's like late in the night. But yeah, there will be fewer taxis on the road. There will be fewer buses on the road. But it's not like they have like a closing time. You understand what I'm saying? But you will still get them. But here, you know that the buses will finish by a certain time. You have to make it to the bus stop if you want to get home in time. So when you're going out here, especially if you are not mobile, like you have your own personal car, just make sure that you get to the bus station on time, or else your eye will see when you won't get taxi. It's as serious as that. You probably just have to Uber or use Taxify, or walk, which is not very advisable. But yes, it's very rare that you won't get taxis at all when you go home, no matter what time you go out. The buses are always walking. Everybody's looking for money. We're all looking for money. Slight differences, but yes. The last one is that this one shocked me. He shocked me because funeral plan. Why will you talk to a living human being about funeral plan? Don't they have family? Because it's not very common. What you have instead back home is something like pension. Yeah, you have your pension plan, you have your pension scheme that you set up with a reputable company, and those ones are they take out a portion of your salary and set it aside for you upon retirement. So it's like saving for a rainy day kind of thing. So that's what we have in place of funeral plans. And this money is usually given to you in chunk because you're saving it up like over the years. You could work for 20-30 years and a small portion of your salary is being saved for that period of time. And you're working with definitely a reputable company that just keeps this money for you for this period of time. And once you retire, or even at any point, if you decide to just take out your savings, and then obviously there will be interest on all this money. So yeah, that's how we usually have it back home. All right, so if you found this video interesting, if it made you laugh or smile or cry, which I hope not, please give this video a huge thumbs up. It does a lot to help my analytics. It also gets YouTube to suggest my videos to more people, so more people get to see it. And leave your comments in the comment section. If I forgot anything, I hope not, so that this video does not exceed to part 3. It would just be redundant. So please let me know again in the comment section. I do my best to respond to every single comment. Subscribe if you haven't done so already, and I will see you in my next one. Don't forget to check out my South African playlist, my hairstyle playlist. This hair is due for a change, but I have a lot of other videos there you can just check out. Go over there, check out my hairstyle videos, check out my craft videos, and I will see you in my next one. Bye bye. Hello, can you hear me? Hello, testing the microphone. 1 2. Hello.